Most people think downsizing is about the house. It's not. It's about everything inside of it. And for a lot of people, that's the part that keeps them stuck because it doesn't show up all at once. It builds slowly. A house fills up over time, not just with furniture, but with life, photos, keepsakes, things tied to memories, things you might need someday, things you haven't looked at in years but aren't ready to let go of yet. At some point, the idea of going through it all starts to feel overwhelming. Not because people are avoiding it, because they don't even know where to start. So it gets pushed off. Not forever, just for now, but for now has a way of turning into years. And during that time, something else is happening. The house itself may not be fitting the way that it used to. Maybe it's more maintenance than it once was. Maybe certain spaces aren't being used anymore. Stairs are becoming a chore, even if nobody is saying that out loud yet. So instead of moving forward, the decision gets delayed, not because people don't see what's changing, but because of everything inside the house. And once you start thinking about downsizing, you're not just thinking about moving. You're thinking about sorting through decades of life. And that's where people tend to get stuck. I've had so many conversations that sound almost the same. We know this house doesn't fit the way it used to. We've talked about moving, but we just don't know what to do with everything. And that one piece right there is enough to delay the entire decision because it feels like you have to solve all of it before you can even take the first step. And that's just not true. You don't have to have the whole house figured out to start the conversation. You don't have to know where every item is going. You don't have to do it all at once. But when it feels like you do, it creates this mental weight that makes the decision feel much bigger than it actually is. And the longer it sits, the heavier it feels, until eventually the decision doesn't come from a place of choice anymore. It comes from a moment, a health change, an incident, a situation where time is no longer on your side. And now instead of sorting through things gradually at your own pace, everything has to happen quickly, and that's when it becomes overwhelming. Not because of the move itself, but because everything that didn't get addressed earlier. And I want to be really clear about something. This isn't about getting rid of things. It's not about minimizing your life or pretending those things don't matter. They do. Every item in a home represents a decision at some point in time, a memory, a season of life, something that was important enough to keep. So of course it's not easy, but there is a difference between honoring those things over time and being forced to deal with it all at once under pressure. The people who navigate this transition the best are not the ones who rushed into downsizing. They're the ones who started the conversation earlier, even if they didn't move right away. They gave themselves time to go through things gradually, room by room, closet by closet, at their own pace without a deadline. And that changes the entire experience because now the decision isn't tied to stress. It's tied to clarity. It's not, we have to do this right now. It's, we've been thinking about this and we're ready. And those are two very different places to make a decision from. So if you've had that thought, even just once, this house doesn't quite fit the way it used to, and then pushed it aside because the idea of going through everything felt like too much, that's usually the signal. Not to rush, not to force anything, but to start. Maybe that just means picking one small area, one closet, one drawer. Not to finish it, just to begin. Because once you start, the process tends to feel a lot more manageable than it did in your head. And more importantly, it gives you time. Time to make decisions thoughtfully. Time to move at your own pace. Time to choose what the next chapter looks like instead of having decided for you. If you feel like you're already behind, like you should have started this years ago and you haven't, and you feel completely overwhelmed, there's people that you can call to come in and help you with this. There's professional organizers, senior move managers, and estate sale companies that specialize in these types of decisions. I'd be happy to give you some recommendations if you're looking for some help with that. Just don't feel paralyzed that you're behind. Start in one small area or call in reinforcements to help you. If you haven't watched my video on where people actually move when they downsize, that's a helpful next step. And if you're in the San Antonio area and want to talk through what this could look like for your situation, I'm always happy to have that conversation. You don't have to figure it all out today. You just want to start before the decision gets made for you.